So this is my good buddy's PWS primary weapons system. It's the older model, not the current one. He brings it to me, tells me it is basically what he describes as what's called stovepiping. And that's where the round comes out and sort of gets stuck in here, sticking out kind of like a little stovepipe out of the roof of a house. It's hotter than hell out here in West Texas. It's 103 degrees outside, and I'm in a wooden roofed shop. So I'm at about 107, so excuse me for panting. In fact, my old hound dog out there is literally panting. So, anyhow, just by him telling me 3,000 to 5,000 rounds, I'm about 2/3 already sure what the problem is. And just as a part of routine maintenance, we'll fix it. So 3,000 to 5,000 rounds in is what he said he's at. So I am going to just arbitrarily change the extractor and extractor springs. And this is that set from Bravo Company machine. There's your O-ring. There's your little spring insert, and there's your spring, there's your extractor, and there's an extractor pin in there. And these are the little circlips that go on the bolt. Also, I'll check the cleanliness of the gun, and I'll check the piston system. This is a piston system, not altogether unlike an AK-47 piston system, in that it is a long stroke piston system. There's a long rod connected to the bolt carrier, and gas enters in at the gas block, blows against that, pushes the bolt back, and that's, or the bolt carrier rather, and that's what unlocks the bolt mechanism, and it pulls the shell. So this is that long stroke piston system, and it is gummed all to chocolate snot. This is all just goo. So part of his problem is poor maintenance. And let's see if his bolt is the other part of the problem here. Believe it or not, that ejector for 3,000 to 5,000 rounds is pretty tight. I'm pushing pretty hard on that to move it. The edges are a bit rounded though, so I will go ahead and change the old girl. And again, even if he had told me it had 3,000 rounds and it was shooting perfectly, please clean it, I would upsell him, as though I'm making any money on this, I would upsell him changing the ejector. Now let's see if I can get this out without killing myself. There we go. As you can see, that was terribly complicated to remove. So just to discuss what you've got here, you've got basically just a little pin that's held in place by pressure, and that's it. So I pressured it out, and if anything, he's just dirty in here. I think this is just a maintenance issue more than anything. This is a firearms maintenance issue, completely. But let's see, I don't know if you guys can see the amount. I mean, you can make 3 pencils with the stuff that's on there, on just the back side of this extractor. I did it again. But nonetheless, the Bravo company specs should match, and since it's due to be changed, I'm going to do it and change it. And just for perspective, this is the one I'm taking out, and it is worn pretty good. It was due. So anyhow, so that will all go into that, and all of that, after I clean it, will go into this. So let's get something good to clean it with, like a blowtorch and a hand grenade. Some of this. And if you're wondering, yes, I did just put charcoal lighter fluid on this thing to clean it. And you're thinking, oh, but that's flammable. Yes, it is. Don't use it if you're stupid. And I could get that spotless if I wanted to, but I don't, so I won't. So now I'm actually going to degrease it with some degreaser. And there's the difference. So we went from there to there.
And I'm going to use a fancy pair of non-mooring pliers to do this.
There she goes. Can't get her into one way, you go for the other. So I don't know if you guys saw what I did or not. Ooh, looky there. But from the extractor side to the bolt side, I stacked up the extractor, the little rubber rod that goes into the spring, into the narrow side of the spring, the O-ring over the spring, and all of that narrow side towards the extractor, and then the bolt. And then I put it in the vise, held it with a cloth so it didn't mar, squeezed here, and put the pin in whichever way the pin would go. And that was that. I've explained this to you just to give you an idea of how hot it is here. I've explained that twice now, and chose to check up on the phone that I'm recording with. And it is so hot that the phone went into thermal protection mode, and I had to go put it in the fridge. So what was missed in that was I cleaned the bolt carrier group and the piston. It was severely gummed. I cleaned it all in lighter fluid, and when I was done cleaning it, I sprayed it off with rim oil, same as I did the bolt. So that's all clean now, and all I have left is this. And this is that lighter fluid that I cleaned everything with. To get this thing apart, I ended up having to remove the handguard. And just look. This is the piston ejection port. And the top of the barrel is just straight blasted. But yeah, it was so gummed up in there that I had to pull that off with, brute force. So back to my fancy smancy cleaning agent. I do find that using a little magnetic parts holder is useful, because it does kind of help you hold the part while you're trying to clean it. All right, let's go for a little test fire and see if she works. I'd say she works. Here, I'll finish her out the rounds. Chamber's clear. No failures. Fed every round. I'd say it's a successful repair